play hard, grind hard, stay hard, no we stay out, make your way out, but I just can't stop, won't stop hustling.
Grinders and granddad's greetings and salutations. Atlanta season 3 episode 4 titled The Big Payback. This was one of those episodes of Atlanta that we get randomly. We don't know what it's about, where it's going, because you know the synopsis for Atlanta's be weird as hell. Like it'll say something completely not even related to the show, or something related to the show but just put in a obscure way. So this episode centered around the main character. I forget the gentleman's name. I didn't see him in a host of other things though. He's been in a bunch of stuff. You might know him from Doug from The Hangover. He's Doug, the guy they were looking for. That's probably what he's mostly known for. But he was in line just normally, got his AirPods in at a cafe shop, blocking out the noise. He goes in a coffee shop. He gets some stuff. I think he stole maybe a honey bun or something. I don't know. But as he's driving, he gets an anonymous call. And it's pretty much just giving a rundown of this guy's life. He works. He has a daughter, separated from his wife. I don't know if they hinted that he was kind of trying to get back with her or rekindling the flame. But we know the daughter wants that to happen because she mentions, Daddy, can you come spend the night? He's like, I'll work on it. We get home. We get to his job. We see his coworkers have some concerns. We also hear on the radio something about a billionaire in Tesla. I don't know if he owned Tesla or he had a Tesla. I don't really know what the correlation was. Because it took me a while for this episode to catch me. I went on Twitter to kind of see, because I was delayed, so I kind of went on Twitter to see if it picked up. Then I started cleaning off my bookshelf, and I had to kind of rewatch this maybe 3 times, because at the end I was like, okay, I get it now. Let me go back. So we see this guy. We see that this guy who owned Tesla gets found guilty of something, and he has to pay something back, and they don't really tell us what it is, but we found out that reparations are a thing now in this universe where if you get found guilty, this guy got found guilty of something and it opened the floodgates. Now they made it to where people can go back and check their lineage, and if they were slave owners or slaves, if their ancestors were slaves, they can go find out the lineage of the people who enslaved them, and then they can find the person in current day to pay them. I don't know if I totally agree with that, but I wasn't mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I ain't never mad at no reason to get no money. Even if it's at somebody else's expense. Hey, it is what it is. No, I'm just kidding. But hey, this is a conversation. It's definitely a conversation starter. Maybe it's another video I could do for that. If a person's ancestors enslaved our ancestors, should they have to pay reparations? I don't know. Maybe that's something the government should have to pay. Listen, I know I'm not responsible for what my ancestors did. But hey, man, that bloodline, man. Some of them bloodlines run deep. That mentality can trickle down. But our character doesn't allude or give us any indication that he is racist. He's just an average guy, just trying to do his thing. But he gets this anonymous call. Like I said, he wasn't paying no attention to it. And like I said, his coworkers are asking him, what do you think about this? And he's just nonchalant about everything. He's just like, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't care. Like, it doesn't affect me at all. So he's kind of like, it doesn't affect me. Like, what am I concerned about? Then his world gets flipped upside down, and it starts, I guess his daughter got wind of it. He's just like, it's fine, it's nothing. And then we find out who the anonymous caller was, and it was a lady who happened to just pop up at his house with her phone on Facebook Live. And she's like, yeah, your ancestors enslaved mine. I estimate you owe me $4 million. She comes in his house, and she got the ghettoest name too. Her name is like Shamika or something like that. I'm like, they did that on purpose. And he's like, yo, can you get out my house? Or can we talk about this privately? And he tries to walk out, and she just comes right in. Like, ooh, Junior gonna like this room. She gonna like this room. So she winds up leaving, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna call the police. And she's like, I already did. When she leaves, he gets served with a paper. So now I guess the lady did some research, and she found out that this guy's ancestors really did enslave her ancestors for about 12 years or so. 12 years or so. So it's looking crazy. I'm like, oh boy, what Doug gonna do? And listen, I know that's not his name in the show. It's not Doug. But his world gets flipped upside down. And like I said, it trickles down to the daughter. The daughter's friends are calling her racist. We see the ties change at work. You know, all the black people are kind of high-fiving and kumbaya, and white people are looking stressed. We noticed that they laid some white people off. So it's a bunch of stuff going on, man. Doug tries to come home, and he said the lady invited like all her relatives. They having a cookout at the house. I'm like, yo, you got too much time on your hands. And first of all, let the judge rule this shit in your favor first. So we see the character kind of constantly escape this, but everything is going haywire from him. I like when he asks his black coworker, yo, what should I do? Trying to get some advice. And he's just like, honestly, if I was you, I would pay it. Then they transition. They show the same advice from his white coworker. And his white coworker's like, man, I will fight this, man. You know what I'm saying? And he's just getting even more stressed. His ex-wife even was just like, yo, we got to hurry up and get this divorce down because you like tainting my name. You smutting up my name. So any hopes of getting back with her is done. She wouldn't even let the man in the house. I'm like, ooh. And like I said, he pulled back up to his house. They have a full-blown cookout. They start chasing the man car, his Prius. I'm like, oh, man, it's looking bad for him. He winds up going to like a hotel or a getaway or some shit. And he meets a gentleman at the bar who is going through the same situation as him. And he winds up giving him some. It was a dope sweet. It was a sweet moment. And a lot of people made this correlation that this gentleman was from the first episode in the boat. I don't know if he was the guy actually in the boat or if he was the guy doing the hunting or both. I don't know. You guys could tell me, post that in the comments. Let me know if that was the gentleman in the boat or if that was the gentleman in the water. I don't know. But I know that this episode was kind of like a prequel to that episode, you know? So this, I don't know if they're going to be doing this anymore this season, but I know for sure this was a prequel to that episode. So we see Doug is even more stressed out, and that gentleman he's talking to was telling him some shit. He was telling him, you know, some shit from his side, just trying to give him some words of encouragement, like, yo, we ain't gonna go through this, we gonna fight this. Then the motherfucker goes outside near the pool and just blows his brain completely out. And it's just like, what the fuck? So Doug snaps out and wakes up in reality, and the reality of it all is that this wasn't a dream. This really happened. And not only that, he doesn't have his job anymore. He's now a kitchen guy, a waiter of some sort, working at a restaurant. He's catching a bus now. He doesn't even have a car. And he has to pay some kind of wage. They line him up, everybody that owes, and they get their garnishes wage. And he's opted to do 15%, which is like, ooh, like you doing that much. And he's on the bus now. And then that's pretty much all we see, you know. It was the end of it, man. And yeah, it was an episode about reparations. So, hey, I wasn't mad at it, man. I wasn't mad at it at all. Kudos to Donald Glover. Now, you guys got to tell me, is this based off a true situation? Obviously, I know we don't get reparations, but if there was anything else that was based off of true events, you guys let me know. You guys always seem to know the details of every episode. Same thing when in the first episode, you was like, oh, this is based off of a true story, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, oh, okay, that's dope. And I looked up the case and the situation, and I'm like, oh, man, it wasn't a happy ending like they did in the first episode. I'll tell you that. But like I said, post your comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And as always, peace, love, and prosperity. I go by the name of the Black Abstract One.